Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to Thursday Night Live, presented by Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots. Yes, it is I, JP Savage, and remember, it's illegal to hunt unicorns in Michigan. I'm joined by...
Yo, what? Is that real? Yo, is that real? It's illegal to hunt unicorn in Michigan?
Illegal.
Like, it's on the books. Like, if that shit
It's on the
happened.
books, bro. It's cruelty against unicorns. These are facts, folks. I'm just here to inform the public.
I'm ready to talk some more about these unicorns, yo. So they're really they cannot be hunted at all?
At all. But let's inform the people what can be hunted. And today, you hunted for good programming, and you come to the right place. If you want to know what's happening in the pro wrestling world, ladies and gentlemen, you have tuned into the room where it happens. Because today we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So make sure to subscribe. I'm reading the chat and I'm laughing. Make sure to subscribe and like.
You pop yourself.
The Chair Shots, HBC2Sweet on IG and Twitter. Please. Make sure you please yourself and click on that button.
Whoa. Yo, please yourself and please those around you. Not only that. Good sir, but we've got some more good stuff coming by. We've got some interviews dropping. Yo, we've been very, very busy. Right?
Listen,
none of it's fluff. It's all about the puff, but we'll talk about that some other time. Some of the plays. We got a lot to talk about.
We also got our Patreon that just debuted this week.
You want to go back to back on the marketing? All right, let's do it.
I mean, listen, this is what happens if you have a two-man show for the shit goes off the rails.
Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads.
I am la empresaria Salina de la Renta.
Former WWE superstar here, Al Snow.
LSG, the human rocket.
The ultimate finesse, Chris Day.
Yo soy Ricardo Rodriguez.
Blake Christian.
Brandon Kirk. The hardcore icon. The Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer.
Cowboy James. Crunchwrap Supreme of the indie scene, Alex Zane.
I respect
DC welcomes you to HPC.
This is Pinky Sanchez.
Yo, what the fuck is up? I'm hanging with the motherfucking bad boys. This is AEW legend Bob.
You're listening to Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots.
You're hanging out with the bad guys on Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots. And if you're not, sorry about your damn luck.
You already know I subscribe 3 times.
There's so much good shit. But this week we got some farewells and some so longs, and WWE releases more employees, including longtime ring announcer Tony Kimmel. Good riddance. I mean, you know what I mean? They're gonna keep doing that. They're gonna keep releasing people. Are you surprised, JP? Do you think is this a surprise to you that this?
Listen. Is it a surprise to me that a company that would want to pick at the pennies that these independent contractors they call their performers get paid on Twitch? You think they're gonna allow people to retire with the WWE? No, they're gonna release you. Everybody's been released. If you really think about it, they just get that Hall of Fame contract at some point. But we're talking about a person here that's a referee, and unfortunately, as far as the WWE Hall of Fame, may not be introduced. I don't know if they have something backstage, right, in that world, and I'm sure he's definitely respected. But, I think this is another opportunity for a person scorned by the biggest pro wrestling company to go to newer heights, to AEW heights.
Really? You think this is nah, man. AEW can't even scrap up. Like, they did that already. They have Justin Roberts, who does a tremendous job, ring announcing. They would not.
Who does the AEW Dark?
Who does the AEW Dark? I have no idea.
At some point, Shao Guerrero was doing it. But I know now she's retraining back into being in the ring, which is gonna be one of our bumps today, right? Wrestlers coming back, or retired wrestlers, people that have been doing it a while. Them making the strides back, and Shao Guerrero was one of those. I'm looking forward to it. I believe she has a match coming up with Priscilla Kelly, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely will be a nice banger. That's right. And listen, I'm with it. I'm with it. But the one thing I have to say, Mischief, I'll be remiss if I let this show go on for the next 72 hours, and I didn't mention the fact when you said farewell, I thought you were going to say farewell to our very own Alex Trebek. Rest in peace, Alex Trebek. He himself also had some findings with WWF back in the day. Forever in our hearts. When you think of mainstream hosts, quintessential American games like Jeopardy, the only man that could do it. And mind you, he's from Canada. But
yo, it's interesting, right? Because like I didn't care so much. I didn't watch TV. Like I didn't watch Jeopardy. My parents are Spanish. Like we watched. My Cuban parents weren't watching fucking Jeopardy. All right. So I didn't know nothing about Jeopardy. All right. Yo no sé nada de esa mierda. All right. I only heard about Walter Mercado. That's all I knew about. Sábado Gigante, Don Francisco. That was the biggest lie. Yo, Don Francisco, where his heritage and all that. Yo, that shit was crazy.
He's German, bro.
No way. He's German or Polish. You think he's Polish?
Polish.
Yeah, I was like, what?
He escaped the Holocaust. He went to Chile. Yeah. Went to Chile, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So,
but you know, the thing is, Mischief, you fail to recognize the fact that I myself was raised by a single mother. So I spent a lot of time at babysitters. And at babysitters, at daycares, inside the apartments, they have multiple TVs. So I was watching wrestling. I was watching Jeopardy. I was watching Power Rangers. I was doing my homework. I was eating the food. I was doing it all, baby. Doing it all.
You were overstimulated.
Because I'm a savage.
They're overstimulating the shit out of you.
Listen, I'm doing my taxes right now while we're doing this show. Yeah, I'm doing my taxes now for next year because I'm ahead of the game because I stay getting paid. Just saying. To talk about.
Yeah, JP going on the IRS. Just leaking out all his fucking tax information. Yo, get him!
You know who's going all out? You know who's going all out? Our very own SAVIO VEGA. Said to he's gonna attend the Undertaker's farewell, man. That should be fun. We've seen SAVIO do his thing recently in MLW right before the pandemic. SAVIO can still get remember that stop sign he got to the head, bro?
Who did he wrestle that night? I don't remember who he wrestled.
I forget.
Was it?
Oh no, it was.
LA Park wrestled Havoc. SAVIO VEGA was he
you're right.
part of like the Hammerstone match? I think he might have been in the Hammerstone. He was whatever.
I was looking at my phone, the picture was there, but either way,
yeah, it was legit. You had to be there. If you know, you know.
You got to be there. If you don't, you know, whatever.
But SAVIO VEGA's got a big history with the Undertaker, right? The
Boricuas, Ministry of Darkness.
No, the crew that played dominoes. I forgot what the fuck they were called.
Oh, or in the back.
PSK or whatever.
Yeah.
So
backstage guys.
Full Street Crew.
Backlights.
Backstreet guys. The wackest boy band I've heard in my life, yo.
Guys. The backstage.
The Backstreet guys.
Yeah, there was a Domino's beer drinking crew, right? Yeah. I mean, think about it. When you used to see the Boricuas come out on WWE programming, you know they was pounding back beers in the back. Come on now. Like, the shape that they were in. But
speaking of.
Oh, very nice, very nice. But you know what? I think that's awesome. The Undertaker is one of those names. I mean, I hope this is the last time we're saying that he's actually, you got that Black Barrel, you dirty son of a bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not tasted Jameson Black Barrel, just frosty, like my man Mischief got it right there, you don't know what you live in life without.
You got to get La Cenicienta. You see that shit? Snow White, my guy. Snow White.
But if you're really ready to do some adult things, and drink like an adult, you want to try this.
You can't even see that
right.
shit. What's that?
It's Macallan 12 right here.
Man, you got the bootleg shit. That shit ain't even holographic, dog. Get out of here with your Pokemon cards.
Holographic. But yes, Undertaker, everybody better come out the woodwork and pay respects, because the man did work with everybody, bro. He was a leader in the locker room, respected by many. Badass dude. And we'll go down in infamy in the annals of professional wrestling.
Where will it be?
In the annals.
In the hat? Yo, I just I hope this isn't like a thing for like another thing. Like if it's gonna be a farewell, let it be a farewell. But
exactly.
I know it's not a farewell. This is not a farewell, and we are gonna talk about that next week. Because
okay, I'll save that commentary for next week.
We're gonna be touching upon the Undertaker's farewell on our go home show, and it's gonna be electric.
Just remember though, it's 30 years since the Undertaker has debuted at Survivor Series. So it could be very well a farewell. Even numbers are a beautiful thing. So who knows? Who knows? But you know who doesn't know? The Bella
Undertaker.
twins.
Undertaker doesn't know, bro, because he's gonna fucking wrestle again. I'm telling you.
I hope not. Leave the man alone. Yo, raise your daughter, bro. Raise your daughter, bro. Come on.
Just say
Bella twins. Bella twins making a comeback?
Raise your daughter, son. Yo. So the Bella twins are talking about, come on, these things. We're talking about coming back. They're going to make a comeback for the women's tag team titles.
A word?
What do you think, JP? Because I feel like we're going to differ of opinion here. Like, what do you think?
So there's two things you need to keep in mind.
I think everybody knows my stance on the Bella twins in general, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think you need to keep a couple things in mind. One is apparently the Bella twins love wrestling more than we expected. Apparently, the love for the in-ring work is something that we did not notice as being as an investment. I mean, we saw it in Nikki's later part of her career before the injuries. She got a lot better, especially when she was dating John. You know what I mean? She definitely got a lot better. Had a couple main event matches. But like they don't need it, right? Especially since they're already Hall of Famers. So that leads me to my next point. I think that they're forever going to be reaching and finding ways to legitimize their status. And, you know, having the tag team titles is just another way to do so. And not for nothing, they're following the social status that they have that comes with being the Bella Twins. I mean, they got their own shows. You know what I mean? Like, they have their own brands. They're entrepreneurs. So I think the WWE is trying to put the titles, the tag team titles, trying to elevate them. And the best way to do that with the women's title right now is to put two women that a lot of women follow, a lot of women love, a lot of guys love. Would it be, I mean, the only way this makes sense is if they lose it to somebody that's up and coming, right? Like somebody like Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, right? Ooh. Two young stars that have talent that need something else, right? That might be an interesting match. I could see a match between them two versus the Bellas on the mic. Cool, man. I'm just, you know, y'all just had babies and they're practically twins. Like, we could hold off on this. It's a pandemic. Like, what are we doing? Chill.
Stay your ass home.
Chill. You see Maurice? Maurice ain't trying to come back.
In your long ass ramble speech, the one thing that caught my attention was elevate. These women's tag titles, from what we have seen, have been written in the worst kind of way. All right?
Oh, yeah.
The way these tag titles have been presented have been absolute trash. Now, you put these girls on this show, you put those straps on those girls, and that, my friends, will elevate those titles. And I am completely, I didn't think you'd agree with me, because I am not a fan of the Botch twins. I've always been like and on them.
And once again, I had to give credit where it's due. You know, Nikki definitely became better before her injury. She definitely got a lot better. Brie was always considered the best of the two when it comes to wrestling until Nikki, you know, made that improvement. But the social capital, that's what it comes down to. Like, the Bella Twins hold weight. They're mainstream.
JP with the words social capital. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Mercantilism.
That's right. You better ask about it.
Capital. All right, that's exactly what they bring to this. WWE needs to realize, you need to make more fans. You need to reach out there and get some. All right, because the ratings have not budged. There's no uptick in actual fans. If you really look at like ratings,
let's not be highly disrespectful here, because if you're talking about reaching out to the fans and understanding that mainstream brings in the fans, nobody's done it better than Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about the creator of what WrestleMania is today. You know, the WWE has had the most successful, and that's another bump that we're going to have tonight. the most successful celebrity interactions when it comes to matches or whatever role they play compared to like WCW. All right, so they know that, which is why these are the moves they make. This is why they continue to put Brock Lesnar in the main event picture. This is why the Undertaker will fight another 5 times. This is why you have all these Hall of Famers coming back because nostalgia sells, and they need to always bring in fans. You know how much attention that he's gonna get when the producers, the creators of The Last Dance, complete Stone Cold's documentary? Are you shitting me? Yeah. Like, you know how much they're gonna reap the benefits? They're not gonna reap the benefits like they did on Dark Side of the Ring, because that definitely didn't make them look good. And I'm so excited for the next season coming out. I can only imagine the things we're about to see. Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring.
Yo, I can't even imagine. Like, there's stories that I don't even, right? Because the lineup hasn't come out yet.
It hasn't come out yet, and they asked for a lot of fan input. So I'm excited to see what we get. I definitely know. I'll tell you this much: if I didn't know some of the angles as far as like the wrestling in the 80s and things of that nature that had occurred and then were infamous, imagine now after 2 seasons of everything we've seen already. Like, I don't know. I can't even tell you of another scandal. You know?
And here's the thing. You just said about what we've already seen already. And that's my fear with the Bella Twins coming back. Is that we've seen a lot of this already.
It's a circle.
We've seen a lot of this already. Haven't we seen enough of the Bella Twins? Isn't our main complaint not to build, you know what I mean, from the ground up, a women's division or a tag team division, or some storylines that don't need older, more well-established faces to them?
True, but we're talking about the women's tag titles. We're talking about a belt that even Sasha and Bayley couldn't really elevate. I'm sorry. They held it, but were you interested in any of the matches for it? Unfortunately, the stories weren't built around it, right? And even when they were holding it, the whole angle was about how they were going to eventually feud. So I think if the Bellas now being Hall of Famers and pushing their social capital, coming like boss-ass bitches, right? And they're like, we're here because we're here to elevate this title. Because we're the best twins, we're the Hall of Fame, whatever it is, and we want to make this the Bella title. You know what I mean? Like, if they want to go on that angle, I'm for it. On some heel shit, I'm for it. But you're right. If you're coming back to give me you're coming back to give me the same old shit, go over there with your sloppy Joe.
That's what I'm down with it. With your sloppy Joe. Yo, that's what I'm afraid of. Because ultimately, like, I agreed with you, right? Like, my initial take on the whole situation was that, yeah, the tag titles kind of need this. They need that big name. They need that social capital. They need that elevation. But we cannot see that same Bella storyline. Like, it's gotta be at least edgier, right? Like, kind of like more like the heel side to it. I would love that. That would actually help bring an air of, I don't know, fucking interest, dog. Because right now that shit is.
If they become the female version of the Miz, it'd be money. It would be money.
Just like a quick sidebar, right? So Lana gets put through 8 tables, and now she's getting a documentary, right? Is that what it takes? Like, are we documenting every splinter they took out of her butt cheek? Like, is that what's happening?
Wait,
like, what?
Wait, who's doing a documentary?
They're doing like a 24 Chronicle, 24/7, 365.
Of the tables?
Nah, not about the tables, about Lana.
Oh my God.
Motherfucker.
I was like, wow, they're really driving this too far.
No, man, the fucking, yes, the tables. We want to know the life of the table, where it got made, how it's built of tables.
We want to believe, but Vince loves Lana, man. They still got love for Lana. No matter, what Miro's doing, they're still pushing it. That's why she still gets screen time. She is one of those talents that is going to get opportunities to act soon. You know what I mean? We'll be in movies. You already see Sasha. Remember, we just talked about the transition to mainstream. This is something that they all want, because that's why you come to the E. When you come to the E, you come to the E to build social capital. This is the number one brand for this industry. You want to make the big bucks, that's where you go. We talked about that last week. That's why the RASCALZ are now rumored to expect to sign with the WWE. This faction that has done work all over the indies. What else do they need? We need to go to the E. This is it's the pedestal, right? That's the goal. No matter what.
Before we get to the RASCALZ, right? I think we need to iron this out, right? The Bellas making this return back into wrestling, right? That's our first bump. And here we are. Let's take these bumps together and talk about, we got the Bellas returning. We got Undertaker doing this farewell tour. What other wrestlers would you like to see make a return, if not for their last time? Just a simple return to the square circle.
To what extent, though?
I don't know, man. Let's talk about perhaps a Goldberg, right? Somebody coming back who's rumored to still have a match in him. People talking about that. Talk about Undertaker having that match, right? That last match. Do we
with Goldberg?
Not with Goldberg, but that was just the worst combination of people I could have said back to back. Because Saudi Arabia showed me I want none of that.
Undertaker should have just hung it up when he walked up the stage with Hunter and Shawn Michaels. Like, let's just be real. That would have been the perfect ending. And I would have been happy with his loss to Roman Reigns, where he put his coat and his hat in the middle of the ring. That was dope. But he had to fuck it up.
Nah. I'm changing my whole tune right this moment.
Talk to me.
You know who's gonna make a return right now? And you're not gonna believe this, but
who, King?
I think it's happening.
It ain't Paul Bear.
So Undertaker's gonna do this farewell thing at SummerSlam, and we know it's coming. The Survivor Series, rather. And it's coming. And then the lights go dark. And then they're gonna be like, there's one that you've never had. One that everyone's wanted to see. And it's 40 years too late, but we're going to give it to you anyway. And Sting's going to come down. And that's going to be it. It might be a cinematic match. It might be some bullshit match. But I think that's going to happen. They can't give Undertaker this kind of like half-ass send-off. Like, what is that? Like,
listen. The last time Sting came back was around this time, right?
And WWE likes playing with the fans sometimes. Yo, Sting's shit just got taken off the website and everybody flipped their shit collectively. Right?
Listen, if you're telling me a cinematic match and this is the end all be all, like we can stamp that this is it, cool. But if not, get it the fuck out my face. No. Like, listen, this is it. It's it. Nah. Like, yo,
Sting
is done.
Undertaker.
Sting is done.
Buried alive, man.
That, bro, if you want to see that, put Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson in the middle ring with a box of olive oil, and you'll see the same shit happen, bro. Like, enough. Let's let these are legends. Let them retire.
I want to see that on the pre-show. Put that on the pre-show. I'm tuning into
that. Listen, I will be sued for what you said, Mischief, if I know this is the end. If this is how you're stamping it, okay. Because, it's just too much at this point, man. It hurts to watch him even try to wrestle. Like, the man's broken. Like, you can tell. Why do you think he only wrestles one match? He's still recovering. This shit ain't no joke. You think it doesn't hurt him to roll his eyes back anymore?
Yo, that's just no joke. Yo.
Hell yeah. So, nah, man. If it's at the end, I'm with it. If it's the end of it, I'm with it. But when is this match going to take place? You talking about WrestleMania?
WrestleMania, and hoping that in the hopes that WrestleMania will be with fans, which is a possibility.
But that match has to be a cinematic match either way, so it don't matter.
I think maybe part of it can be cinematic, part of it can be in the ring.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they can make it because that might be a match that the fans need to see, like, in person. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Icons, like shit like that. Like,
but I think if you want to get the best out of that match, you got to make it a cinematic match.
Entrances take like 40 minutes. Like, like Sting appears from like the nosebleeds and then walks down. That's not happening
no more. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he just walks down.
The bat.
Yeah, the bat. Like brooding crows and shit. Yo, I'm down for all that.
Listen. It could work. We saw Gangrel come out. what is it? During Full Gear,
Oh,
right?
Elite Deletion.
Yes. Listen, every time you mix somebody in from the past, it can work. But in the Undertaker's chapter, this has to be the last one. Then don't give me no more.
Nah, I
Like,
agree with you. Yo, because
I can't take any more now.
That's it.
I can't take any more now.
That's it.
Like,
Yo,
that's it.
He gotta be gone with this shit, son.
Oh, it's
Take
a wrap,
the
bro.
knees for your daughter.
That's what I'm saying, though, bro. Yo, you want to hold your grandkids? You're like 25 years away from that, man. You better hold up.
If not old talent, how do we get those mainstream eyeballs, right? We just found out Cody Rhodes, thanks to Jade.
Cargill.
Jade. Greener than the grass. But
oh yeah.
Potential like a motherfucker.
But that
What? Hey, oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
We found out that Shaq is coming. You talk about mainstream? Shaq gets those mainstream eyes. That's how you put some social capital to the test. Shaq versus Cody. I mean, that's not the matchup I thought I wanted, but Cody is a professional. I think he'll make Shaq look really good.
Well, you have to take in consideration that we're not talking about Charles Barkley. So Shaq at least is in some sort of shape. And Shaq is a wrestling fan. Shaq has been involved in the wrestling industry in the past. He has already been to AEW shows. The last time I remember seeing Shaq was a couple years ago at the Royal Rumble, where he had a phenomenal showing for what you need him to do, right? For a celebrity mixed into professional wrestling world. I think Cody Rhodes and AEW, they're smart businessmen. That's why Cody Rhodes is about to host a show, right? They understand the importance of mainstream being infiltrating itself into the product.
Info what?
It gets stuck sometimes, infiltrating itself into the product. So, listen, Jade was a nice appetizer to what might be what we get. Brandy coming at her was phenomenal. I was liking that angle. It looked almost like a shoot.
It was kind of cool. I was digging it.
It was kind of cool because remember, she was feeling up on him and all this other stuff. So, and like you said, it was green, right? So
it was green.
They can make money off of this. That's what it comes down. Because at least anybody who watches Shaq first and foremost, how can Shaq not be in this? The man owns over 100 different companies. He has stake in Papa John's now. He does general insurance. What doesn't Shaq do? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he is Papa John now.
Shit is crazy.
So, Papa John ain't Papa John.
But all those eyes that the NBA get, love them seeing him on the TV, love Shaq, like they're gonna watch, right? And they're gonna blow it up. Remember, the NBA starts again on December 22nd.
Eyeballs.
So eyeballs. That ain't gonna happen tomorrow. This is gonna be a slow build up. So yeah, why not? Why not?
So we don't get like Shaq against Big Show, right? We're gonna get Shaq against Cody, which I think favors Shaq. I think it's really easy to be a big man against a little man. Yeah, I mean, like I think that the little man makes you look good. So I think that's gonna be a much better match than Big Show and Shaq anyway, right? We were gonna get the standard ring breaking fucking thing, and like it was gonna be a big deal, and that was gonna be the match. But I think this could be much more interesting. What can the WWE do, or who can they bring in to counter program? We know they're fans of counter programming, so what is kind of celebrity? They always do it for WrestleMania. They brought in people like, WrestleMania was built on it, right?
Yeah,
about that shit before we went on there. We talked about Lawrence Taylor, right, being that guy.
Yep.
Right.
That beef with Bam Bam Bigelow, which is actually a pretty cool match. I mean, it's been done throughout history. WCW had a successful one with Dennis Rodman, Karl Malone, DDP Hogan. That was great programming. Happened during the NBA Finals. I mean, they've also had some throw ups like Jay Leno and David Arquette. Even though I do love the Ready to Rumble movie, I will say I still love it to this day. I've been wanting to watch it for a while now.
Trash.
I have to do that
tomorrow. You have shown without a doubt that you are the worst movie person.
What are you talking about? What you're saying has no validity right now. Because
anything that has to do with movies coming out of your dumb face has no validity.
Did I say it deserved an Oscar? Did I say it deserved awards? No, I said I enjoyed the movie. It is one of my favorite wrestling movies, right? What you want me to say? Vision Quest?
Yeah, Vision Quest. What the hell?
Come on, man. Come on,
man.
man.
You gotta get it done. You gotta get it done, baby. So who can the WWE bring? Like, what's in their realm of possibility?
So unfortunately, they've kind of swung and missed a little bit lately. Latest being Gronk. Gronk coming to WrestleMania was kind of whack. I mean, when Vince has to show you by showing you how to drop off a 70-foot drop,
yeah,
70-year-old man, that's pretty bad.
I don't think it was so 70 bad. Feet.
Oh no, he was 70 years old. That was the 70.
Yo, you got to jump from how old you are. Come out.
Yeah, I'm hearing right here Walter Payton in SummerSlam. Yeah. I mean, no, there's so many numbers. The New York Giants have come out there. Michael Strahan. You have the Chicago Bears. Michael made it a career. You have
my man.
You have who is this guy? The fridge. The refrigerator fridge.
Oh, Perry.
Yeah, he was in a I think it was that same Survivor Series match with Walter Payton. So it's happened. It's worked. Who can they get? So I will say this: they already have success in one brand, and that is NXT, because they brought over Pat McAfee, and now he is the leader for the brand. Feel about that faction, but they have some legitimate performers in that faction, including Pat McAfee, because he gets an up because of the mic skills and also what he showed us against Adam Cole. Now, once again, it was against Adam Cole. Adam Cole can make this battle look like a ballerina. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you say after drinking
that. Surprising match. It was still a surprisingly good match. So they left this week talking about that they are the best faction to ever exist, putting up their hands like this. I saw you, Danny Burch, you dirty son of a bitch. I saw you put your fingers up thinking you're the Four Horsemen. So that's one way to make it work, right? You want to bring somebody mainstream, somebody that can talk. You want to bring somebody controversial? Bring in Conor McGregor.
Oh, that's a name. That's a name.
Bring in Conor McGregor and put him up against who, yo? Who would you put him up against?
Damn, Conor McGregor is probably gonna be the baby face in that, although he's not gonna act like. They'd probably put him. I'm saying how they would book him. They'd book him as a baby face.
Okay.
And they'd put him against somebody like Baron Corbin, who just takes L's like that, on like left and right. Right? Who would I want to see him with? I mean, I'd want to see him like, what would a Bray Wyatt Conor McGregor storyline look like? Probably trash. Probably trash, because Conor McGregor's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, no. Conor would have to go up. I could see something interesting happen with Conor and Seth. Especially as the Messiah, because the Messiah thing, I don't know how long it's gonna last for, but at some point he's gonna shed it, right? So. That might be interesting. Or
I don't
think Reigns and McGregor doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. Then who?
I don't know, man. Like,
who do you bring in?
So it's got to be someone popping. Maybe like somebody who's been making a lot of money in movies lately. Somebody who's been headlining a lot of shit. How about this guy? I hear he's doing really good for himself. He's gone by the name Dwayne Johnson. I think he's the kind of guy that you bring in right now, and you have him return to make a big splash against a Roman Reigns. Right? Yeah. Imagine a card where Roman Reigns faces Dwayne Johnson, and then you've got Conor McGregor doing some bullshit somewhere else. You got Pat McAfee on NXT on that same weekend. Yo, that's a WrestleMania you can live for, baby.
Oh, absolutely.
Undertaker
you want eyes on it?
Potentially.
What? You want eyes? That's got to be the best, and potentially a WrestleMania where there be some fans. You know what I mean? That could be the best WrestleMania in a long time. To be honest, if that card were to hit like that.
Yo, if they could line that up.
But the one thing we know about WWE is there's no continuity, so probably won't happen. But see, folks, we here have given you the most beautiful card so far for WrestleMania ever existed. It's simple, folks.
Yo,
it's
just
simple
take
mathematics.
Advice, dog.
Simple mathematics.
And look, and real talk, all you got to do All you gotta do. Like and subscribe, baby.
That's right. Yo, so speaking of factions, this is another month. Speaking of factions, you have For the Brand, Pat McAfee leading that conglomerate. They're claiming they're the best faction to ever exist right now. Are they? What other faction is there right now in pro wrestling that's better?
Ooh, better. That's a tough word, right? We got to throw them all out there. First of all, I'm going to start up real high with Tozawa's Ninjas. We got to talk about them. One of the toughest factions out there. Really, really like committed to their craft. They lost their main ninja. They lost their main ninja to Raw Underground. They lost and then AJ Styles.
Lost their one and only Nigerian ninja.
I've never been to Nigeria. I don't know what that shit is like, but I just doubt that works that way. Right? I just don't think that's correct. My man was a huge bouncer, and now he's still bouncing for AJ's club.
Listen,
up here, that's a strip club, just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is.
But
definitely is.
All right, so let's get rid of it.
Yo, so faction, right? Who you got? You got. What up? Let's go WWE right now. Who in WWE? Who you throw out?
Like in the garbage? Retribution.
No.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Gaga.
Sure.
Right?
And you know what? And that's sad to say because I thought when Ali got involved, Mustafa Ali, I thought that would have helped it. And it's unfortunate the way they booked it.
Mustafa. God bless Mustafa. All right? He is tremendous in the role that he's given. He's making it make sense. He's doing he's making chicken salad out of chicken shit. This guy is making it work as best he can. God bless him. It's garbage and it sucks. All right.
Yeah.
You do not have them get squashed left and right. Just take all these L's. But like, what is the point even? Like, you can tell like this is like a jobber squad now. Like,
unfortunately, which is the antithesis of what they're supposed to be, right? And unfortunately, what it seems to me like the way that they're portraying the characters, and this is not the I don't feel it's performance fault because I feel like this is how they're being directed to do it. But it almost feels like you're supposed to be getting Dark Knight, and we're getting Batman Forever.
We're getting the Dollar Tree.
Batman and Robin, the Riddler, like Two-Face, cartoony shit.
Amazon, but we got the Wish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo,
unfortunately.
What happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, Retribution is really unfortunate. There was potential there. There was like a spark of interest, and now it's like you got to book them right. Like you got to book a faction right. Booking is everything. Now they can recover, right? And I'm gonna throw out a 3-man faction.
Ooh, 3-man faction. I like those.
3-man faction. All right.
Do y'all agree that we can have 3-man factions? Is that a thing?
I mean, yeah, but it should at least be discussed because, is a 3-man group considered a faction? Like, would you really call that a faction? Is it fair to say that the New Day is as, the New Day as dynamic as like a Hurt Business or a Nightmare Family or in a Circle or, you know what I mean? Like, because they've only got 3 guys. I think that's a limitation as far as factions are concerned, right? We talked about the greatest factions, and we will kind of touch upon that, right?
Well, if you want to take it based on definition, the definition of a faction is a small, organized, dissenting group within a larger one, and especially in politics, right? So 3 could be considered a small group because 2 isn't, right? But 3 is.
So. Guy, bro.
I would say
too, dog.
Hey, that was a faction.
yo, my man was slapping down factions, yo. He's just like
so you have to so we keep it in the WWE. You got to mention right away the Undisputed Era.
Okay,
that's the best. Besides this group right now claiming they're the best, that's the best faction we've had. I dare to say, I can't say the entire WWE, but on NXT for sure.
On NXT,
last year. If you want proof, just check all of the archives of what happened last year and the year prior to that, and that'll be the evidence. So absolutely. But who else would you mention? You mentioned the Hurt Business, didn't you?
So the Hurt Business, right, is top dog in the WWE.
Yo,
I believe.
they were carrying Raw for a while.
Yeah,
they were.
You can argue that Retribution was the yang to their yin, but I feel like they did a lot in a sense of they were heels for a lot of that time, and Retribution was kind of unknown. So like that was only like the tail end of the last couple of weeks. They really built themselves up slowly, right? The Cedric Alexander edition was great. They were a threat on Raw. They went to Raw Underground and fucked shit up, which I thought was exactly what a faction like the Hurt Business should do. So they've been booked really strong, and they look great. Their shirts look great. Like, so you can tell someone cares about their merch, about how they look.
They made the U.S. title look phenomenal.
Right. They put some gold on them. So Hurt Business is really, in my opinion, the best booked faction with no except. Like, they are the best booked faction. Undisputed Era.
On WWE?
Huh? Yeah.
Well, they haven't had anything recently, so that's why it's kind of hard right now, right? To even,
right. Overall,
that's fair.
UE's got a longer run. So if we really go like Undisputed Era, sure, they've been booked better over a longer period of time.
Not only that, but also the titles that each collective member has held, right? Because right now, even though Hurt Business is being booked well, they've only had one title.
Right. Like,
so they need to get a tag title. Somebody needs to get the heavyweight title. Who's that going to be? I don't know. But there's still got to be more gold involved in there to them to build their lineage, right? But they're in a great start. I mean, this is MVP. Props to whoever brought MVP back. Because
I said it from the beginning. I hated MVP in the ring, and I was like, if he just needs to go exclusively like Mike, let him be the mic guy. He's got it on the mic.
Yeah,
let him play that role. And you know what? Him going in the ring every once in a while actually is because he's a heel. Right, exactly. He's wrestling heelish now. Like, he's not trying to be like he was getting squashed in other matches, and he just wasn't looking good. So what was the point? But like now, as part of like a tag team, like showing off the Hurt Business, kind of like this Retribution bullshit, he can get in the ring, and that's actually not as offensive. Like, that's not as bad, right? Like, as offensive to the eyes as it was before.
So it's safe to say that, because one of the names that was thrown out there when Hurt Business started coming out, obviously people talked about the Four Horsemen, but a lot of comparisons to Evolution, right? So I wonder, like, do you feel, and if you think about the parties at Bay, right? You have Ric Flair would be MVP. Who would be Bautista? Bobby Lashley? Cedric?
Yeah, right, the Muscle.
The Muscle, I guess, just because
Bobby
remainder, because remainder Triple H would be Shelton Benjamin. And Cedric Alexander will be Randy Orton. Right? The last to join, right? But just the way they carried themselves. And that's the role that right now MVP can play. He can continue carrying the mic, be the face of it, intertwine himself in matches, get some strap, get some gold. They've been booked very well. Been booked very, very well.
Yeah.
But the one thing when it comes to, like I said, having some lineage, some gold, and doing it, having consistency. The one faction that you have to mention and has to be mentioned is the New Day, because the New Day's been rocking for a long time, and the New Day has had gold. And especially, I was about to say, we can say maybe not the heavyweight, but no, Kofi Kingston was champ. So New Day definitely got to go up there as one of the top factions. But right now, that faction is non-existent because they're both on two different brands.
Yeah, I know. So like they've lost a lot of strength in the argument. But that's who I was gonna say before, right? It's a 3-man group, right? They don't really have the strength as a 4-man group or as a bigger group, right, to really like handle taking on the kinds of things that factions do. But they deserve some respect in the name, because certainly they were able to overcome their booking, right? In the beginning of the New Day is certainly much different than what we got now. So that can go both ways, right? The Hurt Business could either start tanking tomorrow, or maybe the Bloodline, right, starts taking off. And the Bloodline with Roman Reigns, right, is probably the last group that I could think of in the WWE at the top of my head, really. Like, they haven't established themselves, but they are. You know, it's the Usos and Roman Reigns, and Heyman's the mouthpiece, I guess, kind of on some dirty shit. And so that's interesting. I don't know strength-wise if I would even categorize them because I don't think they have any.
I think post Survivor Series is when you're gonna see the full effect of the bloodline. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but real quick, to your point about the New Day having that lineage, the bloodline gets they get that and more. Right?
Of course.
Usos have been they've been tag champs a billion times, right? And then Roman Reigns has actually had multiple reigns.
Pun intended. And not only that, he is the main guy. So anytime you have a faction with the main guy, it's got to be the best. But the thing is, I don't feel that faction is fully formed yet. Right now, you have the mouthpiece of, Paul Heyman. You have Roman Reigns, and you have Jay. You still need Jimmy. You still need Naomi.
Ooh, you think Naomi? Not Tamina?
Maybe even Tamina. But Tamina will be more of a muscle, right? But Naomi, and not for nothing, if you put Naomi and because remember when they went into this, they talked about wives. You know what I'm saying? Like it's and Naomi said some shit on Twitter about it. Like, word, now I'm being dragged into this shit. So, and we had a conversation about the women's tag team titles. If they do both join the bloodline, those are two contenders right there. All right. So, hey, I think when it's all said and done, once this faction is fully formed, because remember, there's some other bloodline members that are still not in the E that could come up too and be part of this too.
Ooh, who you got in mind? Anybody?
I mean, we just had one of the bloodline members a year ago job for somebody on the E, did we not?
Oh yeah,
Noah.
Yeah, man.
So it's possible. It's possible. I want to mention, just because we're on WWE, Legado de Fantasma. And I want to mention them because it has been pretty unique, but I feel like unfortunately it's been overshadowed because it's really the limelight of the cruiserweight division. Right? So like you don't see it, you only see it on NXT a little bit, it's on 205 Live, so you don't see it too much, but I think it is a dope angle. And Legado de Fantasma does a pretty good job in his role and how he hates being part of his father's lineage. So I just had to mention them as a faction. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but they're pretty cool.
That's why. Man, get out of here with that bullshit, bro.
All right, cool.
Trash, they ain't going to be mentioning this shit. Like, I don't even know why he brought them up. Anyway, right? If you want to just, let's expand the field. Let's talk about all companies real quick, because I don't think that WWE has the top 3 factions in wrestling. Right? I don't think that they have the top 3 factions in wrestling. So, in my opinion, right, we gotta throw out Bullet Club. All right, Bullet Club deserves some. Yeah, they deserve mention. I wouldn't call them in the top 3, but I think I should throw them out there because
and this is current.
Yeah, this is I mean, in all its iterations, right? You gotta take the whole legacy of the faction. Right, and it's still going. It's current. It's current. It's still alive.
But it's more of like end of days NWO though.
It's a current faction, right? That has some weight to it. They still got God. As long as they got God, they're good with me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw them out there. But let's talk about the top 3 factions in wrestling.
Which are?
I'm gonna throw out the Nightmare family.
Ooh, okay.
Cody Rhodes, Nightmare. I hate them. I think they're corny as shit. But in terms of weight, the matches that they put on, Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall put on. I mean, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall put on.
Brutal match.
What was the match called? The barn butt, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but a barn burner, I think. Yeah.
Light bulb match. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see that much color in that match. It was kind of nuts.
And honestly, Dustin has put on matches every time he's come out. Like he's done
a bunkhouse match. It was called the bunkhouse match.
Thank you, the bunkhouse match. right? And then like nobody knew how to describe it until it happened, and then it was just like, oh, it's a hardcore match with just random shit all over the place, which is cool. All right, whatever. I dug it. It's a gimmick. Cool. I was interested. And then all the color was great. But the Nightmare Family has been consistently solid and at the top of their respective programming all the time, right? Like Cody he's either got the belt or at the top of the picture, right? And then you got like Brandy doing things like she was with the bunny and now she's not. Now she's with the and what just happened? Like we had Shaq is it going against Cody, right? The Nightmare. So like everything that happens in that company is gonna run through that company. But I only got them at number 3.
And by the way, the angle they were going with Brandy Rose for a while, I was so interested to see where they were going to go with that, and it didn't amount to much.
The dark thing,
I was curious to see what she'd be able to do with it.
Everybody was like shitting on it, and then it just kind of died, and I just felt like, damn, you guys quit on the angle, like that's kind of trash.
Because they're used to the E, man. That's what it is. They're used to the E.
No, but like
it's trauma. It's trauma.
I feel like you don't quit on an angle like that. Like write it off, like tie it loose ends, like make it make sense. She just kind of was like she burned the hat or some bullshit. She was like
listen. I'm just realizing now there's a correlation with me enjoying her segment with Jade and also that dark angle. There's something to her when she's a little bit more sinister. That kind of lights up on screen, and I think that's always a good role for her to play. That's what I'm noticing. But we'll see what we get out of this. Nightmare Family, keeping it dark order. That was pretty cool. It's been pretty cool. They Taya Conti now part of it. Taya Conti, cameraman. This week between that and Tony Storm NXT.
Every time, like Conti kind of like, does she break kayfabe all the time? Like she's sitting in the ring and she's just like oh, what just happened? There was a women's match on AEW. What? That's crazy.
Her tongue in her. She like.
I was like, hey, all right. No, but
listen, I never saw somebody getting pinned and jiggling. I just never seen something like that before.
All right. Put your pants on, you dirty bastard. How about the Inner Circle? In my opinion,
of course,
in wrestling right now. All right, the Inner Circle most definitely has been programmed correctly. Jericho has done a tremendous job just establishing the brand, building the brand, making the brand reputable, right? They brought in names like Ortiz and Santana, a built-in legacy of a team, right? Building their name in the indies, and then on Impact.
I will say though, they stole the Dynasty's angle when it comes to marketing and making a beverage, and they came up with the bubbly. I just want to make sure that MLW, the Dynasty, where MJF was leader of. I mean, it didn't work out too well, but they still had that angle.
Ooh, how about MLW's Contra unit?
Ooh, that's ferocious.
Contra unit.
Ferocious
right now. So right now, the storyline in MLW is that they got shut down because of some shit that Contra did, but Contra is saying, well, not Contra, but MLW is saying that Selena De La Renta did it, and Selena De La Renta is suing the company.
Ooh.
So that's lit hell.
But you got to mention Selena De La Renta's group then, right?
Well, they kind of disbanded, right? Like, didn't they leave after LA Park?
They kind of did. But I mean, anytime you got Selena De La Renta, it's going to get figured out. She's going to get more talent.
Selena De La Renta.
That's right. You have Injustice too, right? Injustice is another little faction. They got a Coco Beware looking dude. You know what I mean?
Nerd World Order, holla. If Steve's out here. Yeah.
I have to agree with you. Inner Circle definitely, by far, one of the best factions we've seen in a while. And if you need any proof, look at what they've been able to do since there's not many factions that could go a comedic route and still go in the main event picture and be taken seriously, or go in a tag team picture and be taken seriously. And that's what you have when it comes to the Inner Circle. They have all different levels. And adding MJF to this is going to be very interesting because this is going to be a shit show. And you know that shit's going to be a shit show. Vegas, shit show. For sure.
It's going to be a lot of good content, though. That's going to be fun. It's gonna be fun. Like everybody's got an angle. Like Sammy Guevara posts up. He's like, "Oh great, Vegas," and he's got like this fucking annoyed face. And then Santana retweets it. And he's like, "Yo, chill, it's free, man. Just have a good time."
Yeah,
Like everybody's got like a perspective to it where they're just like, "Fuck it." Ortiz
they all have their own
tight.
personality.
Guevara is tight. Wardlow looks like he's gonna bang out with Hager, so that'll be a wash, right? And then we'll get the juice, which is I think MJF is gonna fight Sammy Guevara way before he fights Jericho again. But
I expect
this
to.
Yeah, I expect this to be the downfall of the Inner Circle, though.
Oh yeah, this is The Rock versus Ron Simmons at this point, right? That's what you want to get. The breakup of Nation and Domination in that sense, because you have the young guy coming into the group and thinking he's better than everybody, right? That's what you're gonna get. And I love how you just played it out with everybody involved. I think it's gonna be dope to see. Yo, our HPC of the week, heels, pops, and chair shots of the week.
I'm glad you brought that up, right? So I was just thinking about what my heel of the week was gonna be, right when you said that, and Ruby Riott is gonna take a little bit of this heel of the week this week. When Natty locks in her sharpshooter, Ruby Riott came in and locked her shit in, and she got the W. Beautiful move for Ruby Riott to steal a victory. I love it. I think we need to see more like gimmicky kind of shit like that.
Right now, Ruby Riott with the new haircut.
Yo, Ruby Riott looking fire right now. She's got a look
like the cut. But she got, I hope the haircut works kind of like it did for Bayley. You know what I mean? Like it just changes her whole persona a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Ruby Riott is a talent, bro. Ruby Riott, and if you don't know about Ruby Riott, you better ask somebody. You better ask somebody. Yo,
JP, what you got? What heel of the week you got?
My heel of the week, I have to give it to Candice LeRae. Because if you have not seen what this little mischievous little person has been up to for the last couple of weeks, especially last week, they had Ghostface coming around and fucking with everybody, right? And it was debuted that Ghostface was actually Ina Cartwell. So another NXT female talent getting a little bit more of exposure, right? So that's dope to see, another angle. Once again, man, I am not NXT continues to produce quality programming, guys. I know we give a lot of slack to the E for SmackDown and Raw, but from JP Savage's perspective, you can look all through these 135 episodes, man. You don't get too much of me bullshitting on NXT. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, Titus, we getting Titus O'Neil in the chat. Titus O'Neil promo was hot fire this week.
What?
There were a couple.
That's what we bring to the table? Titus O'Neil?
That's what I'm saying. Yo, what's up with y'all, yo? Can't have no nice things. You know what are nice things? I'll tell you, there were a couple pops this week.
Okay, talk to me.
We just saw the pay-per-view. That was probably the best pay-per-view of the year. All right, and we just
the best of the year.
The best. Full Gear was the best pay-per-view. Yo, we forgot to talk about it all night. Full Gear was phenomenal. Tap to bottom. Hot fuego like a fire, dog. It was amazing. Every match was popping. We got the pop of the week, which was Kingston Moxley in an I Quit match.
Yo, gruesome. Never seen anything like that.
Exactly what I thought it was going to be, and then some. It was a beautiful ode to death match, if you will. It was incredibly done. The story was great. Kingston quit. It was beautifully done. One little note that popped me even further was Kingston's a fucking genius. All right. There's a spot in the match where they take the barbed wire off the bat because that's what they were going to use for the finish, right? So they had to leave it accessible. And at some point, somebody kicks it out of the ring accidentally or something.
Yeah.
Kingston notices immediately. And he goes outside and gets it. And then he looks at it like, what am I going to do with this? And he's like, and then he goes back to doing something else. He made sure to make sure that that piece of barbed wire was where it needed to be so that the match could finish the way that it finished. That was pure genius.
That's ring presence. That's veteranship. That's knowing the trade. And as a heel in the match, right? Which, you know, anybody in the match with Jon Moxley is like, you're the heel, but he plays the role perfectly. And honestly, what popped me even more than the match a little bit was the fact that this week you had Pac come out after him. Because now what we're talking about is that Eddie Kingston stays in the main event picture. This is not a one-horse Sally. He is part of the main event picture because, you know, Pac is definitely going to be in the main event picture. We hear Cody and Darby, definitely a hell of a match.
Oh, what a match. What a match. Oh, the whole pay-per-view was a pop.
It definitely was a pop. Might be the best pay-per-view they've had.
Yo, it was the best pay-per-view this year, yo, hands down. Let me tell you, another pop. It happened on Tuesday, also AEW, and I'm not talking about Dark. If I'm not mistaken, that's when AEW Games arrived. Right? AEW Games dropped their notice, and apparently it's No Mercy with new skin. I am here for it. I know the first, you know, imagery of the game was rough. It's the alpha version, right? It's still got a long way to go, but it looked good, man. I mean, it was a little more Battlegrounds, a little less 2K, but I think people are down.
If the graphics get better, it'll be great, right? And it should get better. I mean, we're in an era now. We're talking about PS5, like. There's no time for those boxy characters. So I think it will improve. But once again, establishing yourself in the market. Because now if you are a new promotion and now you also have a video game. Yo, keep it going. Yo, AEW doing a phenomenal job, guys. Thank you for enriching the lives of all wrestling fans by producing something different. Producing something that we could look forward to, man. And you definitely, this is why they have all the supporters they have, man. Congratulations to AEW. You know what's another pop for me? Leon Ruff defeating Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship on his debut.
Yes, what a moment. What a moment. My man's got like 3,000 followers and the belt don't fit him, but it's awesome.
Oh,
good for him.
Crazy. And his boo thing is a ref in NXT too. So, you know, his girl's proud of him too, man. Yo, awesome moment. I mean, and we've had moments like that throughout the history of professional wrestling. Quickly, I remember Paige after WrestleMania winning the title in that fashion, right? So,
true.
Dope. That's dope. And you know what? Johnny Gargano belongs in the main event picture either way. But Johnny's done too much already. What else does he need to do?
Oh, hold on. Is that Vic challenging us to Thumb Wars? See, look, if y'all don't know what Thumb Wars is real quick, let me just spit you some truth, just spit you some knowledge. All right. If you go to patreon.com/HPC2Suite, what you're going to see is this unique, exclusively cultivated collection of content to ever grace the web. It's this beautiful collection of exclusive bullshit that you can only get from the bad guys, right? We got Thumb Wars, right? A video game show that you can watch. We got Grapple Theater where we watch matches and we talk our shit, baby. Come join us. Plus all the behind the scenes and more. HPC2Suite on that Patreon. Hit them with the, you know, one last thing, right? We gotta hit them with the chair shot. And here's the chair shot. Is that's all the time we have. Baby.
Come on, baby. That's all the time.
Shove it. I mean,
Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, HPC2Suite on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere you find entertainment, any platform that gives you podcast entertainment. If you want wrestling, to the bad guys. Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots. We love y'all. Kick rocks.
Yo, what about dessert though?
Coño, siempre se me olvida.